I pitched an idea to this guy at Arsenal, which was about putting solar on the roof or battery in the basement, but said you could either fund it yourself or we could get, private equity firm to fund it. But there's a third option. He said, what's that? I said, we get the fans to own and operate it, or not operate it, to own it, and be a part of the direction of travel of energy independence and sustainability and so on. He's like, that's cool. Let's do that. I was like, oh shit, I don't, what was this, a crowdfunding platform? I didn't know what I was doing, but he loved that. And I loved that he loved that. And it kind of snowballed into it. Downing, who funded it, there was the Downing crowd. So it was a realistic concept and we could refinance it through as a bond, but we pivoted for
ding dong.
Ding dong.
Both there.
But what I loved about that was the opportunity to bring people on the journey. And if you can have a father-son or, assuming a football match, have a conversation and they're under the Jumbotron, a big, iPad screen of a battery and showing, how it was filled up, pre-match time and how it's being dispatched. And, if that child had a 100-pound bond that was given to, by a grandparent or whatever, like that becomes really, really, really exciting. And right now, this whole transition, it's like us, the people working in this industry, but the rest of the people are kind of, hey, industry, I hope you pull it off.
Yeah. It's too complicated because there's too many complicated words, and it's things like, I don't know, our whole energy industry is crazy complicated, and in many cases, I don't have to serve itself in being more complicated.
Absolutely.
And we need to be able to communicate it to everybody.
Our relationship with it is very basic. I mean, we walk up to the wall and we press a button, it goes on. It's very predictable. We don't have to deal with outages much, knock on wood. But, I'm not saying it has to be deeper. It's not the most interesting, exciting concept, but, that's one of the only links, commonalities that Arsenal has with its fans, electricity. So, how can you use those things to create those connections, that understanding, and that awareness? And people, I'm not delusional. People go to be entertained and see guys run around and kick a ball. But if that conversation can happen for 10 seconds about, that's interesting. There's a battery in the basement. It's filled up with wind and solar, and it's used during the match. Okay, cool. And that's how it makes money. It fills up during cheap times and pushes out during expensive times. It's a big sponge, fills up with cheap water and pushes out expensive water. That's actually really all I understand. Other people explain it to me, I think. But
it creates a level of intuition, which you don't need the complicated long paragraphs to explain it. It's an intuition thing. It's a sort of it's pub chat.
Yeah,
right? It needs to be pub chat to really get the hearts and minds of these people.
Pitch it to a parent. That's my mom, when I was explaining to her what her crazy delusional son was doing. I mean, she said, so yeah, the wind doesn't always blow, the sun doesn't always shine. So we need batteries. And I've told that story 100 times because, that's basically it's not wildly more complicated than that.